It's getting busy out there, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer video. I know a few of you guys have been asking for me to give more of my opinions for you guys on transfers and what's happening out there, so thought I'd do that. I said on my last transfer update we're getting towards well, we're into single-figure days now left of the summer transfer window, and things are getting very hot, very hectic out there, so it's going to require me to be covering sometimes more than one transfer video in a day, and today is no different. So if you are new around here, please do subscribe. It's free. I'm going to keep you up to date every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, so do subscribe if you haven't already. Aiming for 32,000 subscribers, now less than 700 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Do leave your thoughts in the comments below, and do leave a thumbs up as well. 300 likes is the aim. So firstly, we're just going to be speaking just in general about the outs and what to expect from now until transfer deadline day in terms of the exits for Manchester City. So we'll start first with the young players. Tommy Doyle, James McAtee, Cole Palmer, them three players could all be leaving Manchester City. So there's three players that futures need to be sorted before transfer deadline day. We've got, of course, Joao Cancelo and Aymeric Laporte in terms of first team players that more than likely will be leaving Manchester City. Cancelo set to sign for Barcelona. I've got further update on that in tomorrow's daily transfer update. Of course, Aymeric Laporte's in Saudi Arabia, set to complete that as well. So we're waiting for that to go through and some more funds there for Manchester City. Kalvin Phillips, he's not going to be leaving Manchester City. He is going to be staying. The stance has been very clear there for Manchester City. And Maximo Perrone, he's already left Man City again. I'll go in more details tomorrow, but he's joined this afternoon Las Palmas in Spain on a season-long loan. So there's one player's future sorted, but we've still got at least, in my opinion, 5 players to sort out in terms of the outs at Manchester City. When it comes to the incomings, we do have a potential tussle going on. We know we're not going to be signing Lucas Paqueta, because we're not going to be signing him. Just about every single central midfielder out there is getting linked with Manchester City. A couple of players' names that have been popping up over the last 24 hours is Eberechi Eze over at Crystal Palace. Very expensive. I was reporting on my transfer update today. It had been reported that City were looking at around £90 million to make that transfer happen. I said I was waiting for something a little bit more reliable to report on that, and that has happened in the last couple of hours, with Jack Gorhan saying that we're looking at potentially more than £70 million to sign Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace. 25-year-old central midfielder, good player, but a lot of money to be spending on a player who potentially may not be in the Manchester City first team starting 11 once we have Kevin De Bruyne back in 4 to 5 months. That is a lot of money to be spending on a player who potentially could be bench warming. It sounds quite brutal, but that is the case. Man City, with our small squad, we're always going to need to rotate. We're always going to need players to come in, but sometimes when it's not working or you're not getting into the team, it becomes very difficult. Kalvin Phillips is a prime example. He's now into his second season. It's a massive season. If he doesn't make it this season, he'll be sold by Manchester City. We spent over £40 million to make that transfer happen. We're potentially looking at near double that for Eberechi Eze to come to Manchester City, and the question has to be asked, is he going to be able to displace Bernardo Silva or Phil Foden or Kevin De Bruyne once he comes back from injury, because they're the positions that he's looking to start in, they're the positions that he's fighting for. Julian Alvarez is another player who potentially could be playing behind the striker. The only bonus Eze's got is he's versatile. He can play out wide, he can play on that left wing, so if there's anything happening to Jack Grealish, you got further cover with that. But we're set to sign Jeremy Doku, who again is a winger who can play on the right and on the left as well. So to me, if you're signing a player for a squad player here to help with depth and help with injuries, you don't want to be breaking the bank to make that happen. If we're spending £70+ million on a player, I want them to be a starting 11 player. The serious question has to be asked is Eze good enough to be starting game after game for Manchester City? And it all depends on what they're looking for from a central midfielder. Do we want someone who can play in that attacking role, who's versatile out wide, or do you want somebody who can sit a little bit deeper? And that's where the links of Mathues Nunes is coming in, a player that was getting linked with Manchester City in the very early parts of last summer's transfer window before he signed for Wolves, played for Sporting Club de Portugal, who Man City have an active partnership with. He's a player that's been of interest before. We already have the scouting reports. It's a transfer that makes sense. The downside you have to this is, whilst they're a similar age, Eze 25 and Nunes 24, is Nunes is a player that can sit in a deeper role, but he's also very expensive. Eze, £70 million. It's been quoted today, according to TalkSport, to tempt Wolves to sell, who don't want to sell this late in the window. They said it's going to take a big offer, according to Sky Sports News, but TalkSport are saying it's going to take an offer in excess, so more than £60 million. I think the big difference you've got here between Nunes and Eze is Nunes can play in that box-to-box role. Eze, I'm not so sure. He's more of a creative attacking player. He'll grab goals, he'll grab assists, and will help Man City in the 4 to 5 months that we've not got Kevin De Bruyne. But once De Bruyne comes back, he may struggle for some game time, and it's a lot of money for a player who in the second half of the season may be struggling to get into the team. And Man City may also struggle with a bit of momentum if Eze, which what you'd be hoping for if we signed him for £70+ million, really hit the ground running. You may end up with 1 or 2 unhappy first team players who may struggle to get into the first team squad. So City need to get that balance right, and I think, to me, that's where Nunes makes a little bit more sense. Think more of a Gundogan, a Kovacic, a box-to-box player, good at playing the deep role, good bringing the ball forward, good with his distribution. He's got good reading of the game as well. To me, he is a very good player, and with how injury-prone Mateo Kovacic can be, we've seen that at Chelsea, 2-3 injuries per season. If that's the case, you need a player that's ready to take up the slack, because if we get a Kovacic injury now, all of a sudden Man City's midfield in terms of depth is looking extremely vulnerable once more. So bringing Nunes in will make sense to me. It frees up again more of Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden, that we don't need to go out there and add any more depth to our wingers once we've brought in Doku, because you will have the options of Foden and or Bernardo Silva to go on the right or go on the left. You've got that option of Grealish, you've got that option of Doku. You're covered when it comes to wingers. We've replaced Riyad Mahrez. You end up helping to replace Ilkay Gundogan as well, and you're able to manoeuvre the squad, so to speak, with versatility. And to me, that is where Mathues Nunes takes preference for me, and also just seems to be a little bit cheaper. And I think the thing that Man City here could utilise when it comes to Wolves is they've been getting linked with Cole Palmer. Not too sure if he'll leave Man City or not. Remains to be seen. But City believe to not be looking at the loan market. May he want to go to Wolves? Who knows? But they certainly have been getting linked with James McAtee and Tommy Doyle. And you're seeing Mathues Nunes leave, a central midfielder. Man City have got ready-made replacements. James McAtee, Tommy Doyle, they're good to go. They can't make 2 loan signings, but Man City may just be open to selling one of these players in Tommy Doyle or James McAtee, which may just help bring that price down of Mathues Nunes as well. So let's say, for example, if Man City want to sell James McAtee £15-20 million and Wolves want £60 million, all of a sudden it's a deal worth £40 to £45 million as the upfront fee, including that of James McAtee. If they end up signing one of Tommy Doyle or McAtee on a permanent basis, they can loan the other. And James McAtee and Tommy Doyle had a brilliant working relationship in midfield last season with Sheffield United. It helped get them promoted. To me, Sheffield United don't look half as good without Tommy Doyle and James McAtee. And that's what Wolves can add to their team in exchange that we get Nunes and they get some cash as well, because the word from Wolves is, whilst they don't want to sell this late in the window, they'd be pretty happy with the cash because they can use that cash to add more depth to their team. That, to me, is an angle Man City should and could well explore between now and transfer deadline day. That makes things very interesting, as well as the 5 players that need to leave. Man City working on Jeremy Doku, still not sorted, and potentially one more incoming in terms of a central midfielder and more money to be spent. We're getting to a point, if things haven't materialised by close of play tomorrow, we're talking a week to get potentially 7 transfers done on top of a Bernardo Silva contract and a Kyle Walker contract. There are lots of deals still to be done in this transfer window. As I said, to stay up to date every single day with daily Manchester City transfer updates. Sometimes we're going to need to do more than one video like today. Sometimes I'll be doing my transfer show for you guys to look forward to. So much Manchester City transfer content. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. It's free to subscribe. We're on that push to 32,000 subscribers. Any help towards that will be much appreciated. Less than 700 subs away. I want to hit that by close of play, transfer deadline day. Big push, lots of videos, lots of transfer content, so do subscribe if you haven't already. Social media links, they're in the description below if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link, that's also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below. Eze or Nunes, who do you want? Let me know in the comments below. And finally, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for another daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. I hope everyone is safe and well. Thank you everyone for watching. Peace. Ciao for now.